They're gonna copyright strike me because that sounds just like Beyonce.
Really?
The country of Sweden, land of IKEA, land of Swedish meatballs. I don't really know much about Sweden, to be honest, but I know that they are coming for Beyonce. My name is Cam. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about celebrity news and pop culture around the entire cyberweb. Wait.
Hold on.
That wasn't dramatic enough. Where we talk about celebrity news and pop culture around the entire cybersphere. She's won Grammys, she's won our hearts, and Beyonce has won again, but this time she is being accused as the person responsible for inflation in Sweden due to her global tour. On May 10th and 11th, Beyonce stopped in Stockholm for her Renaissance tour, which has already left people gagging and death dropping around Europe. It's because of its demand from fans around the world that it's causing people to shell out high amounts of money just to see a glimpse of Queen Bee and the now infamous, spoiler alert, gigantic fucking horse. Because of the demand, it's being alleged by Sweden's Michael Gron, chief economist for Denmark's Danske Bank, that inflation only decreased by 0.2% from April to May. Now Sweden's inflation rate sits at about 8.2%, down from 8.4%, which was a smaller drop than they expected. And they're blaming this on Beyonce due to higher spending on hotels and restaurants, with the demand reaching higher levels. Before we get more into the story, let's talk about what inflation is. You know when your parents are like, back in my day, I used to be able to buy eggs with a little leg rub and 5 pennies. That is inflation. Inflation is what causes the decrease in purchasing power because a dollar today is not worth the same amount as a dollar yesterday. So all of this is usually derived by demand and supply, which is obviously affected by other factors in the environment and the economy, but that's another finance lesson for another day. In a quote to NBC News, Gron continued his analysis by saying, quote, "Perhaps all that isn't just down to her as there are other events taking place, but when you think about what was the cause, she is the prime suspect. It's not just out of the blue. We did hear a month ago that it was very hard for her fans to get accommodations and that hotel rates went up. It seems to be a reasonable guess." It's important to note here, and we've heard about this from other tours of hers in the past, but people are flying to other countries in order to see Queen Bee perform. It's a reasonable judgment for a lot of people to make, especially if you're considering flying to another country just in general. Why not have an experience of a concert that you were going to see in the States and also a vacation with your boo in the same country? It just makes plausible sense for people to do that. A content creator mentions this exact thing when she details how she was able to get the flight accommodations, hotel accommodations, and the ticket for less than what her friends in Dallas paid. Gron commented on cases like Ariel's, with fans coming over to Europe in order to get cheaper tickets and driving up the prices of accommodations. Quote, "It might be the case that there is a lot of foreign demand coming into Sweden because it is anticipated as cheap. Concert tickets and everything else is cheap for foreigners. That can contribute to pushing up prices." So even though Gron believes that Beyonce is the primary suspect in the slower decline of inflation, other economists on the other hand have other thoughts. James Pomeroy, a global economist at HSBC Bank, said, quote, "While Beyonce may have caused a shock to 1 month's data, she's not the reason for inflation in Sweden that's well above the central bank's target." He cites the cost of food, general tourism, and pets were to blame as well. One other thing to note, and I think this is important just when you factor in the rising prices, European countries have been feeling the effects of the Ukraine-Russian war, so other economists have blamed that as the rising prices as well. With all of this reporting on Sweden's economy and the rising costs because of potentially Americans traveling over there because of Beyonce's tour, it makes me wonder how Swedes actually feel about this, like on the ground. It's one thing for a news story like this to report on, okay, the inflation, higher costs, but are the Swedish people actually feeling the higher cost? And do they just think that this is just a part of the summer season? It just makes me wonder if they're actually really caring about things like this, or if this is just a story that's sort of blowing it out of proportion because there are numbers and figures in the story that equate to things. that makes sense. I don't really suspect that the average citizen is equating higher costs to Beyonce. I think that they're probably thinking it's the summer season, people are traveling, but those are just my general thoughts. I do know that countries typically have a negative view on Americans just in general.
Kind of fat and all that.
Fast food.
They eat a lot of food, like the portions are like really big. Burgers and Coke.
I would be curious to see if they actually do care about Beyonce or this potentially driving up costs. Speaking of Swedish people commenting on how this has affected them, in the article, The Economist they centered the story around ended it by saying, quote, "It's a bit unusual. I'm used to being cited in Swedish media in terms of economics and so on, but not in this scale. Well, it's nice, of course. I guess it's a one-off thing and they will forget me soon." I feel like this was such a melodramatic way for them to end this story, and it did make me feel sort of bleak and sad because, well, it's true. Let's move on. Let's move forward. What do you guys think about all of this? Do you think that Beyonce is to blame for rising costs in your area, whether you're in a different country or in a different state as I am? Let me know down in the comments below. I think it's just a part of the summer season. I know that there are going to be concerts, festivals, the weather is hot, we got our titties out. There's a lot of things that are going on around the world. Of course, there's going to be rising prices. I know when I'm gearing up for the summer season or any sort of warmer season that I'm going to have to plan in advance because there's going to be a lot of competition for hotels. Uber prices are always jacked up. Just general dining prices are more expensive. All of this makes sense to me. The cost of things do rise, I think, as the year progresses and people are outside. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way out. Drop a comment below if you can, also for any sort of topics or conversations that you want me to cover, and I will definitely make sure to do so. With all of that being said, I don't know, something tells me that I'll be talking to you guys very, very, very soon. There's a hair. Beyonce! Bye, guys. You won't break my soul. Hey, hey, hey. They're gonna copyright strike me because that sounds just like Beyonce.
Really?